Dear students, welcome to e-learning Samveda class. Today we are going to discuss a chapter from history, that is chapter number 4, Vijayanagara and Bahamanis. Already in the first session we were discussed the establishment of Vijayanagara Empire. There are 4 dynasties who were ruled the Vijayanagara kingdom. Who were the founders of Vijayanagara Empire? As we discussed, Akka and Bukka were the founders of Vijayanagara Empire. They were established a kingdom in the year 1336 CE. There are 4 dynasties who were ruled the Vijayanagara Empire, namely Sangama, Saluva, Tuluva and Aravidu. In these 4 families or 4 dynasties, in Sangama dynasty, Devaraya II, or we called him as Praudadevaraya. Praudadevaraya had his title Elephant Hunters, and even he assumed the title Dakshina Patada Chakravarti. Other than the Devaraya II, the other most prominent ruler was Krishna Devaraya. This Sri Krishna Devaraya was ruled from Tuluva dynasty. Krishna Devaraya also had the title Yavana Rajya Pratisthapanacharya. Sri Krishna Devaraya also written a book, Amukta Maulyada in Telugu. The scholars who were lived in the court of Krishna Devaraya were called as Asta Diggajas. Dear students, in today's session, we are going to continue to discuss the Vijayanagara Empire, that is, the contributions of Vijayanagaras to the field of art and architecture. Then, how the Vijayanagara Empire came to end. After the Vijayanagara Empire, the another empire we are going to continue to discuss, that is Bahamani kingdom. First, let us continue to discuss the Vijayanagara. What were the unique features of Vijayanagaras into the field of art and architecture? Actually, Vijayanagaras continued the architectural style of Chalukyas, Cholas and also the Hoysalas. But they have the unique feature, which means they built a huge auditorium and marriage halls. And even they built a Rayagopura, nothing but going to call huge temple towers. And also there were leaf-shaped arches and platform. They used to construct these temples by using rough granite stones. These Vijayanagaras, they built the temples at Hampi, Sringeri, Tirupati, Lepakshi, Karkala, Mudibidre, Batkala, Chidambaram, Kanchi, Kalasasti, Nandi, Sri Shaila, Kolar. In the beginning, Vidyashankara temple was built at Sringeri. But we can find one ancient temple we called Virupaksha temple, which was built at Hampi. The special feature of the Virupaksha temple is the vast veranda. There was a broad corridor. And there are beautifully curved pillars. Very amazingly, which was painted on the ceilings. This is a speciality of Virupaksha temple, which was built at Hampi. The another temple also we can find at Hampi is none other than Vijaya Vitala temple. What a speciality of Vijaya Vitala temple means? It has 7 musical notes, which means if you go and touch the pillars, each one gives a note, a sound of Sa, Ri, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, Sa, which means this is what they call Saptaswara musical pillars. There also we can find huge Kalyana Mantapas, and there are stone chariot. There was stone chariot also we can find at Vijaya Vitala temple at Hampi. By the time There was a Persian ambassador by name called Abdul Razak. He was visited the Vijayanagara Empire. After he was visiting the Vijayanagara Empire, he was recorded what are the things he was observed in Vijayanagara Empire. Abdul Razak says, Dasara festival was celebrated in a very grand manner on Mahanavami day. To celebrate this Dasara festival, the king is to invite the provincial leaders and other leaders also through orders. And the Vijayanagaras is to build Kamal Mahal, Elephant Stable, Queen's Bath. These are going to call best example for Indo-Muslim architecture style. We can call as Indo-Muslim architecture style, or also we can call as Indo-Sasanic style. Lakshmi Narasimha, Kadale Kalu Ganesha, Sasuve Kalu Ganesha, Uddana Veerabhadra. Uddana Veerabhadra. These are the idols were so much attractive. And also, these Vijayanagaras were built at a fort at Hampi. The Vijayanagara Empire was very strong with 7 cellular walls which is around the Hampi. But today, most of the walls were ruined. And we can find only there are 4 cellular walls around the fort. These Vijayanagara kings also gave more importance to art, architecture, music, dance, drama, and even for Yakshagana. Particularly, Saint Purandaradasa, Kanakadasa, they enriched the Carnatic music through their kirtanas. During the time of Vijayanagaras, they used to perform the dance. The dancers used to decorate themselves and used to wear the ornaments. After decorating and wearing the ornaments, they used to dance in temples and even they used to dance at palaces. But this Vijayanagara Empire came to an end. Why the Vijayanagara Empire came to an end? Because of the battle of Rakkasatangadi that was in the year 1565. If you go and study about the battle of Rakkasatangadi, we can see that Krishna Devaraya was an eminent ruler. He was a popular ruler. He was a great ruler. But after the death of the Krishna Devaraya, the successor going to call Achyutaraya. When Achyutaraya came to the throne, among the kings, within the kingdom only, there were internal rivalry. There were no peace in the kingdom. They were fighting each other. After the Achyutaraya, the Sadashivaraya came to the throne. But when the Sadashivaraya came to the throne, he had his son-in-law by name called Ramaraya. Even though the Sadashivaraya came to the throne, but Sadashivaraya was not a popular ruler, he was not an eminent ruler, but he was dominated by Ramaraya. Ramaraya, he waged many wars to extend his boundary. Even though he waged many wars to extend the boundary, but he was failed to expand the boundary. Instead of that, he created enmity with the neighboring rulers. Particularly, he developed the enmity with the Shahi rulers of Deccan. And they fought against the Ramaraya at the place called Rakkasa and Tangadi. In that battle, the Deccan Sultans defeated Ramaraya. With this, the Vijayanagara Empire came to an end. The another kingdom we are going to discuss now, there is none other going to call Bahmani kingdom. Alauddin Hasan Gangu Bahman Shah was the founder of Bahmani kingdom. He was established a kingdom in the year 1347 Common Era. Bahmani and Shahi dynasties were ruled from the year 1347 to 1686. Who were the important rulers of Bahmani kingdom? If we come to the Bahmanis, Muhammad Shah I, Muhammad Shah II, Feroz Shah, Yusuf Adil Shah, Ibrahim Adil Shah, Ibrahim Adil Shah II were the most prominent rulers. Ibrahim Adil Shah II was most popular ruler. Bahmani rules can be seen in two stages. First stage between 1346 CE to 1422 CE. In the first stage, Bahmanis made their capital was Gulbarga. Almost 8 rulers who were ruled from the Gulbarga. They had main rivalries. Their enemies were one we call Rayas of Telangana and also Vijayanagaras. In the second stage, Ziauddin Ahmad was shifted the capital from Gulbarga to Bidar. But if we come to the Bahmanis, the most important prime minister, the most important personality is none other than Muhammad Gawan. Who is this Muhammad Gawan? Actually, Muhammad Gawan, he was born and brought up in Persia. There, he was learned the Islamic religious verses thoroughly, nothing but called as theology of Islamic or the Quran. And also he learned law, that is nothing but Islamic law. All these things he was learned at Cairo. After he earned the proficiency, after he was learning the Islamic law and also Islamic verses, he also so much of proficiency, he was so expert, he was so fluent in Arab and Parsi languages. And this Muhammad Gawan, he came to India and he became a prime minister under the kings of Humayun, Nizam Shah and Muhammad Shah III. During the time of Muhammad Gawan, they shifted the capital to Kalaburgi. Actually, it was called as Gulbarga, but today we call it as Kalaburgi. And he was a prime minister from the year 1411 to 1481. This Muhammad Gawan, not only a good administrator, and he was a great conqueror. He captured Konkan, he also captured Goa, Belagavi, and he made attack on Orissa and he conquered Kondavidu. That was in the year 1481. Even he was made attack on Kanchi. He was plundered and looted the wealth from the Kanchi. By that time, among the people or in the world, he was so popular. Who was so popular? Muhammad Gawan was so popular. By the time, his enemies were not able to tolerate the growth and the popularity and the prosperity of what we call Bahmani kingdom. So, the enemies of Muhammad Gawan, they want to try to take a revenge on Muhammad Gawan. That is why, if you go and study the history, it says, his enemies were written a letter and they were stolen the seal of Muhammad Gawan. In that letter, they written it seems. How they written? Muhammad Gawan was like inviting the Orissa ruler to attack on Bahmani kingdom. That time, Muhammad Shah III was emperor. By the time, Muhammad Shah III was Bahmani ruler. And his enemies made that letter to available to Muhammad Shah III. When it was reached to the Muhammad Shah III, he gone through the letter and he found that Muhammad Gawan was inviting Orissa ruler to attack on Bahmani. This one couldn't tolerate it by Muhammad Shah III. So, he beheaded the Muhammad Gawan. He slashed his head and he was killed him. After a few more days, Muhammad Shah III came to know the mistake what he was committed. That was happened in the year 1481. But Muhammad Shah also died the very next year, 1482. After the death of the Muhammad Gawan, the successors of Bahmani kingdom were not strong. They were not eminent. They were incapable. After the death of the Muhammad Gawan, The successes of Bahmani rulers were not eminent. They were not so capable. So, the Bahmani kingdom was split into small petty kingdoms. How many kingdoms was happened? The Bahmani kingdom was divided into 5 petty kingdoms, namely Ahmadnagar, Bijapur, Berar, Bidar, Golconda. These are 5 kingdoms also ruled by different Shahi rulers. Ahmadnagar was ruled by Nizam Shahi, Bijapur was ruled by Adil Shahi, Berar was ruled by Ahmad Shahi, Berar was ruled by Barid Shahi, Golconda was ruled by Qutub Shahi. The most prominent and eminent ruler of Bahmani means is Ibrahim Adil Shah II. Ibrahim Adil Shah II was ruled the Bahmani kingdom from the year 1580 till the year 1627. Almost he ruled 47 years. He was a great and eminent administrator. He made a tremendous progress in the field of art, architecture, literature, and even in the field of education. They used to say that this Ibrahim Adil Shah was religious tolerant. He wrote a book called Kitab-e-Navarasa. In the book called Kitab-e-Navaras, he used to begin his prayer by remembering the god Ganesha, Narsimha, even the goddesses Saraswati. And also he used to pray Muhammad Paigambar too. It shows that who do we call Ibrahim Adil Shah was followed the religious tolerance. Dear students, let us continue to discuss the cultural contributions of Bahmanis. Bahmanis and Shahis were ruled for about 200 years. And these Bahmanis, they extended their empire till the Tanjavur in Tamil Nadu. The Bahmanis and the Shahis used to do the administration based on Islamic religious principles. To give the excellent administration, they divide the kingdom into central administrative unit, provincial administrative unit, and even they divide as villages. The Sultan, the ruler, was the chief of the central administration. But the king or the ruler, he was held by the cabinet ministers. The cabinet was called as Majlis-e-Ilwith. But whoever he was appointed as a top officials, the commanders, ulemas, amins, they were the friends and the relatives of Sultan. Muhammad Gawan, not only a great conqueror, he was a great administrator. Before Muhammad Gawan became the prime minister, the kingdom was divided into 4 tarafs. Tarafs is nothing but provinces. But who can I call Muhammad Gawan? For effective administration purpose, he divided the tarafs into 4 to 8. These tarafs are the provinces. Further, it was divided into sarkars. Sarkars were further divided into parganas. Parganas was divided into villages. These provinces, I told you, divided into sarkars. To look after sarkars, they appointed subedar. The sarkars was further divided into parganas. To look after the parganas, they appointed kotwal, deshmukh, and desas were appointed. Finally, these parganas also further divided into villages. These villages were looked after by Patel, Kulakarni, and the gods. Who do we call Muhammad Gawan? He also given great importance to revenue, military, and judicial administration. Let us begin first one going to call revenue. Amir-e-Jumlas were the head of the revenue authority. Of course, even in the Bahmani kingdom, agriculture was the main occupation. The agriculture production was collected as a land tax. Apart from the land tax, they used to levy more than 50 variety of taxes on the people. They used to impose the taxes on houses. They were imposed a tax on mines. They imposed a tax on tobacco, on grassland, trade, employment. Likewise, they imposed so many taxes on the people, more than 50 taxes were imposed on the people. And that money was used for the war field. And the money was spent on bodyguards. And that money was spent for the construction and maintenance of forts also. Who are we going to call these Bahmanis? They gave more importance to military. They spent a lot of money for the development of military. They had 4 types of armed force. Permanent troops. But another type of army they recruited, we call the army recruited only during the time of war. When the war takes place, they'll recruit the soldier. Those soldiers will fight in the war. Once the war ended, they'll be back. And another type of army they recruited, that is called for religious wars, jihad. To protect the religion, these soldiers will fight. And the 4th type of the army they recruited, the soldiers who were recruited to protect the sultan and even to protect the palace. They also had army like infantry, cavalry, elephantry was there, and even they used explosive units also. Strong fort which was built by Adil Shah is Bijapur Fort. Dear students, these Bahmanis gave very much importance to judicial system. The Sultan, the ruler or the emperor, was the highest judicial authority, and he was ruled according to the customs, traditions, and also the principles of Islamic religion. This Sultan or the ruler was helped by qazis and senior officials in decisions of judgment. Dear students, let us go and discuss about economic, social and religious system of Bahmanis. First, let me take economic condition. As I told you earlier, agriculture was a main occupation. Other than the agriculture, the people also used to do spinning, oil extraction, sugar and jaggery manufacture, thread weaving, leather work, carpentry, pottery making, goldsmith, perfumery, sculpture. These were the occupations the people of Bahmanis used to do. But these Bahmanis not only depend upon agriculture and also the profession, they also had trade. They were encouraged exports and even imports. To export and import, they were used the ports, harbors called Dabul, Rajpura, Chawla, and even the Goa fort was used. The Bahmanis were imported silk, wine, gold, silver, copper, tin, lead and even the glass. And also, to exchange the goods, they were used as a medium of exchange coins. What were the coins that were used? They were used golden and silver coins. The golden coins are called as Honnu. The silver coins are called as Lori and Tanka. If we come about the society, the social condition of the Bahmani kingdom means the Bahmanis had joint family, that's what they call undivided family. They had patriarchal family. The father was head of the family. In his absence of the father, the eldest son is to lead the family. And there were in the practice caste system, and even there was common polygamy. Then if we come up to the religious condition, Haridasa Bhakti Panth was popular. There was a Muslim, Sufi saints were there. The Muslim community was divided into many groups. Namely, there were Sunni Muslim, Shia Muslim, Sayyid Muslim, Sheikh Muslim, and even the Pathan. And the Muslim women used to wear the burqa. Now let us come to the education and art and architecture. First let me go with the education. During the time of Adil Shah, he gave more importance to propagate Islamic culture. They were started educational institutions. The educational centers, they were called as maktabs and also madrasas. Actually, maktabs is nothing but like a school. Madrasa is nothing but like a college. In maktabs, they used to teach alphabet, religion, law, poetry, and even what they call rhetoric. Madrasa is a higher education center, is nothing but what they call college. Muhammad Gawan was the founder, or he only established the madrasa which is at Bidar. If you go to the Bidar madrasa, they used to teach particularly Islamic religion and Islamic law. But this madrasa is the biggest madrasa. The Bidar madrasa is built at about 242 feet of length and 222 feet of width and also 56 feet of height. And it is a 3-storage building which is built in Deccan style. And also they had more than 3,000 manuscripts in the library. For the students and even for the teachers and the Orthodox people used to live in the lodges. Apart from their education, they gave more importance to art and architecture. These sultans or the Bahmanis developed Indo-Sassanic style of architecture. The Jammi Mosque built by Adil Shah I. The most important monuments are what they call Ibrahim Roza, Gol Gumbaz, Gagan Mahal and Asar Mahal. And these were the important monuments which were built during the time of Bahmanis. These monuments are made Adil Shah's world famous. The world famous monument means that is Gol Gumbaz, which was built at Vijayapura. Today we call it as Vijayapura, it is called as Bijapura. It is one among the greatest structure in the world. If we come about this monument, Gol Gumbaz, is covered the area about 1,800 square feet. There are 7 storied minarets we can see. How many floors we can see? 7 storied floors we can see in the Gol Gumbaz. This also has huge dome in the center. The dome will be so huge. Dear students, so far we have discussed about the art and architecture of Vijayanagaras, and even we have discussed about the founders of Bahmani kingdom, and the most popular ruler of Vijayanagara kingdom is none other than called Adil Shah II. The very famous or eminent prime minister, we called him as Muhammad Gawan. Muhammad Gawan not only administrator and even he was a great conqueror. All those things we have discussed so far, my students. Let me ask few questions, can you able to answer it? The Virupaksha temple where was built? Yes, the Virupaksha temple was built at Hampi. Who was a Persian ambassador who was visited the Vijayanagara kingdom? Abdul Razak. Good. Which was the early capital of Bahmanis? Gulbarga. Which was the later capital? Bidar. Which one the Muhammad Gawan made his capital? Kalaburgi. It was called as Gulbarga. Yes, my students. When you come for next class, I'll give you a few questions. These questions are write one time and learn and come. Please take down the questions. 1. What are the achievements of Muhammad Gawan? What were the contributions of Bahmanis in the field of art and architecture? Dear students, so far I was explaining about Vijayanagara's art and architecture and about the Bahmanis. I am Mr. Jerome. I am working as an assistant master at St. Joseph's High School, Bryan Square, that is in Bangalore. I would like to meet you in other class. Have a nice day. Thank you.